All right, welcome back, everybody, for a new Wednesday watch list for April 19th, 2023. As you know, members first, you guys will get to see this before everybody else who will get to see this finally on Tuesday, probably around like 6 p.m. thereabouts. But this is my watch list for this week with the new releases coming our way. And I got to be honest with you, not a lot really jumping this week that are really pulling me to go to the shop. But we'll run through the list and see what's there. Hopefully you're enjoying this show as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comments section. And yeah, if you want to see what books I'm looking at for this week, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro and I will be right back. All right, so as I mentioned, this is the Wednesday watch list, and this is for this upcoming week of April 19th, 2023. Like I said, there's not a ton here, but there's a few things, but let's just run down through the list here. Let's start off, I like breaking these things up into sections. It helps me put my ideas together and put them in order, so we're going to keep that going here on this show as like I do on all the others. So let's start off with covers. These are basically just cover picks, things that jump out at me, things I like that I'm going to consider grabbing when I check out the shelves on this upcoming week, Wednesday. That said, first one, Captain America Unforgiven. This is just a regular variant. It's not an incentive variant. It's I don't know, maybe it's like a C cover, a D cover. Who knows these days? They have so many different covers coming out for all of these different books. It's hard to tell. All I can say is this is a cover price variant. So this EM Gist, it's pretty cool. I like the red, gorgeous painted art here. I like it. So I will consider this one once I go to the shop this week. We'll see. We'll see how it looks in person. Up next, we do have a couple of She-Hulk books. And yes, there's one that's going to be the same as the 1/100. Gorgeous cover. But another one that kind of caught my eye was this one right here. I don't know. It's Patrick Gleason, I believe, did this one. I kind of like the play on her holding up the, the Hulk sign, but instead of it being some, big muscular Hulk holding it over his shoulders, it seems like she's just lazily kind of holding it up with one foot there as she's just lounging about in a spring meadow. I don't know. I kind of like it. So for cover price, I might consider that. And these are things that I believe are all still available, and they're available for cover price. These aren't things that are sold out or selling for a lot yet. We'll get to those a little bit later in the list, but this is all cover price stuff. So like I said, these are things that I just like. You buy what you want with it. I'm not saying these are going to go up or these things to invest in. It's just I like comic art, and these are covers that I like. So I might buy them when I go to the shop. That's all. That said, our next book on the list is this one. We're going to go over to DC, and you all know I'm a fan of David Nakayama, and this is another one of his Catwoman covers with the, the fill-in Catwoman. And I kind of like it. She's sitting there, feet up, bonsai tree in the front. I kind of like the layout. So I think I already pre-ordered this one. So this will probably be coming in my DCBS order. So going to get this anyway, eventually. All you Jeff Deckel fans, I don't know how you say his name properly, but it's a pretty awesome Wonder Woman cover here, and you got Mary Marvel in the back, or I guess she's Captain Marvel now. I don't know. I'm not really keeping up on all of my DC stuff these days. All I know is this is a pretty nice cover, and for cover price, I might consider getting it. And going down the list, we're going to hop on over to Image, and this series by Brian Haberlin, if I'm saying his name right, these covers are they're just awesome. Like, he's doing 4 covers, well, basically 3 covers, and then one of them's a virgin version for every issue of this series. And this is issue, I think, 4 of The Last Barbarians. And once again, this is just great work. And this is the one that is, I think they're cover A, technically, and this has the virgin version as well. All cover price. So, get what you like. I believe I've been getting like the virgin versions and the trade dress versions pre-ordered, I think, through DCBS for this whole series because they're all great. But some of the others, like the B and C covers as well, have been good. It's just how many covers can you have? It's just too much good stuff. Too much good stuff. That said, I actually had to break out a subcategory this week. Mind you, we're going to get into this topic a little bit later on Monday with Hidden Gems. I know I said we'd get back to a regular show. We kind of are, but we're still kind of focused in on a special topic. And the topic's going to be homages. But that said, we still have some homage covers coming this week that still catch my eye. I know a lot of people are tired of these things. They're tired of reuse covers and reuse homages, etc. But I still pay attention, and they still catch my eye every time I see them. So whether I get these or not will really depend on my mood and my wallet at the time. Like, we'll see. First one is Extreme X-Men, which has had a couple of good, interesting ones through this series so far. These are like B covers. Again, not incentive covers. These are all cover price picks or books that you can get for cover price or less, depending if you get a discount at your shop or if you pre-order, or you still have time to pre-order, etc. But Extreme X-Men this week has this pretty cool, Wolverine. I mean, it's pretty obvious the Wolverine homage, but there it is. In case you didn't know which book we're talking about, I wanted to show it to you there. And I think this is issue 4 of Extreme X-Men. I'm not 100% on that. I probably should have wrote it down, but the image I got has no trade dress on it. I mean, no, whatever, numbering, etc. on it. So not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's number 4. Oddball book from another company, Keen Spot, has this Kid Slapshot. I don't know, Keen Spot has a bunch of these weird little titles coming out lately, and they have multiple covers, and one of their covers is this, which is an homage to the Deadpool. What is it? Circle Chase, I think? The mini? Yeah, the Circle Chase. That first mini that Deadpool had on his own. So, you see, pretty interesting. Pretty kind of fun, right? I don't know if I'm going to buy this per se, but this could be something I can see drawing some people's eyes. I mean, it's got a $6 cover price on it, so it's a little pricey for just kind of a cover buy, but hey, do what you want. It caught my eye, so I figured I'd put it here on the list. Just like this next one. I don't know if I'll get this, but it did make me stop and take a pause. And this is the Mighty Barbarians. I think it's number 1. It's Bellet and Valeria. It's following like those, the Conan type characters. And since they're like public domain, I guess, we're getting a lot more titles with some of these characters these days. And the Mighty Barbarians here, it's, if you can't see it, it's the Brave and the Bold. So Brave and the Bold, was it 28, I think? Right? I think it's 28. Yeah. Anyway, you can see it right there. Starro is the villain, and you got the heroes, etc. Pretty good representation here, like 1-for-1 homage. I kind of like it when they do it that way. But that's another one that I looked at. But the only one I made sure that I ordered ahead of time is the next one. And this is probably my favorite of the week. And it's an homage. And it's an homage to one of my favorite artists, which is Adam Hughes. And that's this. I mean, this deceased War of the Gods, Undead Gods series has had a bunch of these covers that have just been doing well. I mean, it had the Prince Purple Rain one last month. The month before, I think, was the NWA cover there. Like, doing a lot of fun stuff. Granted, this is a comic cover, so this is, like I said, my favorite of the bunch. This is JSA Classified number 1, the B cover, the Adam Hughes cover, but now she's zombified. Kind of fun. So I made sure I ordered a copy, or I might have ordered 2 just to be on the safe side, but I got this one, or will be getting this one. And like I said, I like it. And it's probably my favorite, and what I would say is the best homage cover of the week. Homage cover. And I don't like running people down or running art down, but sometimes I feel it's necessary. And since I figured I was doing this as the best, I figured I had to pick one for the worst. And that would be this one. It's just a tired homage. It's not even that great of an original cover. And this is New Mutants Lethal Legion doing an homage to New Mutants 98. Like I said, the original's not even great. So don't do it again. And it just looks blah. That's all. It's just blah. So I have no interest in this one personally, but people collect what they want to collect. So I picked this one as my worst one of the week, just because, like I said, I don't even like the original, let alone don't do it again. That said, let's go on to another thing we could say is doing it again. Let's go to second prints. We do have a couple second prints. None of these seem to be like hitting or like crazy. You got to go and chase. There's some series that probably warrant to having another printing. Some of these have sold out, but I don't know if these are going to generally rise in value, nor are there any incentives this week. Thankfully, no incentive second printings that I saw to report on this week, but a couple of image books. First one being The Forged, which is actually looks like it's an oversized type book. I don't actually know much about this one, but it's Greg Rucka. And I did not know about this title beforehand, but now I'm kind of curious, and I'm going to go look for it because I like him as a writer. That said, there's a second print here for that issue 1. I think issue 2 is coming out this week as well. So maybe if I see them, I'll just grab the 1 and 2 because it's probably the easiest, because this is something I want to read. It's not so much for investment purposes. I just want to read the thing. Another one is No One, which I think got options. So I know everybody was picking up No One number 1 over the last few weeks. And so there's a second print. And number 2 is coming this week as well. We'll see what happens. And the new Predator series. I don't know. It's a pretty cool cover. You got a panther, you got a tiger, you got a predator. Can't go wrong there, right? But the new Predator series has gotten a second print as well for that new #1. Like I said, I don't know what's going to happen with any of these, but these are your later printings that are coming out this Wednesday. So I like to pay attention to them. So figured I'd let you guys know what was on the deck for second printings, etc. That said, our final bit, and probably my favorite bit, are the incentives. These are the things I love to collect. I love to watch them. Even if I can't buy them all, I just like tracking them and trailing them, seeing if I can find them for cheap, etc. So let's get into our incentives for this week. Starting off with the first, which is going to be, I just like the IDWs. The IDW 1 in 10s, they always make me stop and think about it. And the first one is Sonic the Hedgehog, number 59. I mean, we're 59 issues in, and they're still doing retailer incentives on this title. So eventually, these things are going to be hard to find. Will they eventually become ghosts? Who knows? I don't want to throw that term around all the time, and we do not have one this week. I'm not throwing out any potential ghost terms this week because I feel like it's overused and overdone sometimes. So we'll see what happens. All I'm saying is not a lot of shops are still ordering a bunch of these. I know Sonic had his 2 moments in the sun with 2 movies so far, but I feel like we're hitting a lull again until the next movie starts getting a bit closer. So we'll see what happens with these. I just like looking at these and considering them. I think Midtown still has this up, and it's like $13, so it's a little over ratio. I generally like, again, paying ratio or less. So I'm going to be hunting for cheaper than that, looking for like $8 maybe. Maybe pay $7 or $8 for this, but we'll see what happens. That said, another one that I would look for under ratio, just because I kind of like the cover, is this Hellcat. This is Hellcat number 2, and this is a 1 in 25 from Marvel. There's a pretty fun Noto cover on this one as well. I didn't put that in the slide presentation, but I kind of did like that, like a throwback pulpy kind of romance novel, even looking kind of like cover. And I think it's like the B cover. But this is the 1 in 25. Again, this is not selling for a lot. It's ratio or less for the most part. So we're just going to kind of see what happens with this. I don't know how many places are going to have a lot of copies of this. So we'll see what happens with the prices. But it's just something I'm keeping an eye on. But again, I'm shopping for under ratio, personally. Catwoman has a couple, actually, interesting ones. We're going to start with the 1 in 25, which is a cardstock cover. Ryan Gonzalez, I believe, did this one. I mean, it should be kind of obvious with the rainbows and the bright colors here that that's who did this cover. But I'm not 100%. I'm just 95% sure I'm right. But this is a 1 in 25 cardstock cover. Again, it's not selling for a ton. It's like ratio or less. It's just one of those things. I like the bright colors. I don't know. Maybe this would be an impulse buy. Once again, I don't think you're going to make a ton of money. This is not going to be something impossible to find or anything like that. It's just an interesting cover and kind of catches my eye. Maybe it's the rainbows catching my eye. I don't know. But if the price is right, I would consider it. That said, we do also have a 1 in 50 for Catwoman. So we got 3 Catwoman covers this week from when you go to the Nakayama, and we got the Ryan Gonzalez here, and then we have the Swaby, the Josh Sway art here. There is a B cover for this as well, but this is the 1 in 50 foil, and I put the foil on there because it is going to be that dull DC foil. Doesn't look terrible from the pictures I've seen, because I guess this darker red kind of lends itself to that more muted foil look. So maybe this one won't look terrible in foil. But there is a cover price version as well. Just want to show you. This is like the B cover cardstock. So you can get this pretty much the same as the foil. Just a tiny bit of trade dress in the barcode. This is probably the one I'm going to buy in addition to the Nakayama. But just want to put this out there that the 1 in 50 is going to be available. But it's not selling for a ton yet. Pre-selling for a ton. So this is something, again, ratio or less. Could be out there. Could be out there. Just like on X, we got some more DC foils. Why DC is doing all of the more interesting looking variants these days, but despite the foil, I don't know. But they are. Marvel, what do we have? The Hellcat was the only one that really caught my eye. I don't even think they have a lot of other options as far as incentives goes that aren't the timeless 1 in 100s. Like those, I'm already tired of looking at them. So not that I'm tired of the art. I like the art, but I don't really care for the sketches for the 1 in 100s. And by and large, none of them have held the ratio price of a 1 in 100 for those timeless Alex Ross sketches. The only caveat being probably that Spider-Man 7 because of the Spider-Boy inside. So that's the only one I can see that's actually selling for premium. Maybe we'll put that on the top 10 and 10 for this week. I don't know. I'll see how it's selling still, but that's what I noticed today when I was checking sale prices. It's just that one's the only one that's really above board there. That said, moving on to Nightwing. Couple of cool covers here for Nightwing, as there have been throughout this, this run recently. It's also a solid read. But this is the foil version. This is the foil version of a B cover as well. But this is the 1 in 50 foil cover. It's like a family portrait of the Titans. Kind of fun, right? This one I actually got some pre-sale information for you because it is selling for a little bit more than ratio. Well, actually, it's right around ratio as far as the recent sales go. There was one sold just last week or so, and then one sold all the way back in February. So not a ton of pre-sales on this, but there were a couple, and you can see right there at that ratio mark. But the asking prices, that's where this drew my eye, because while there is one that's only asking 40 for a 1 in 50 ratio, there were a couple asking 105, $145. So there are some higher asking ratio prices out there these days. I don't know if it's the sellers are fishing on these pre-orders or what, but just note that those are out there. We'll see what happens when Tuesday actually hits. Copies hit people's hands, whether any of these prices hold or any of these sell for these higher prices. But for right now, this is what gave me pause, is when I saw a couple of higher asking prices. So I figured, you know what, we'll take a closer look at the Nightwing 103 here, and check it out this week. We're gonna follow it, see what happens. See what happens. See if it makes the top 10 and 10 on Thursday. But moving on, Sun Kumana. I'm gonna butcher the name, but artist, been selling well. These Sun Comics, been doing a lot of these 1 in 50s on this title, The Deceased War of the Undead Gods. This is number 8, the 1 in 50. Pre-sales actually been pretty good. Pre-sales on this one. This is not foil from what I can tell. I think it's just cardstock. But pre-sales have been 80, 90, $100. Okay. Asking prices right now, if you want to look at the pre-sale asking prices, 80, 100, $150. I don't know. This could be a pricey one, but keep in mind that this may still be available at some of the bigger stores online. Like I think Midtown actually still has this up, and I think it's under ratio. So it's another thing to keep in mind. Always check the bigger stores first. I know my comic shop won't list their copies until like Tuesday night, I think. But that is just a tip for any of you guys out there shopping, doing online shopping, not worried about going to a shop or can't go to a shop. Just check. Just check. Granted, a lot of times the bigger stores will sell out ahead of time, but in this case, this is one I think they still have. And the next one, I think they have this one as well. But let's take a look at another 1 in 50. This is another foil, but it's another foil that might actually work. I think it's because of the darker colors. Once again, Wonder Woman and the gold, the yellows here, it might work in foil. I haven't seen it in person, so I don't know if it works. But this is an outside shot that this one might work for this 1 in 50. This is Wonder Woman 798. This is a Yannick Paquette cover, I believe. One pre-sale that I could find on this one sold for $113. This is a couple of weeks ago, end of March. And there are copies up right now listed. Also, all asking about $105. Why they all settled in on 105? I don't know, but they all did. It seems to be a conspiracy. They all want $105 for this 1 in 50. Just kidding. But no, that seems to be what the asking price is for this one. So double ratio are asking. We'll see if it sells again, because like I said, only saw one sale. So I'm not saying this is going to be that price. Only one has happened. We'll see if any follow suit in the coming days and over the next week. But it's, again, another one I'm keeping my eye on because I'm interested. But I'm only interested in for cheap. That said, the next couple, the last two, I think, are going to be ones that are selling a bit above their ratio marks. We're going to start off with Yoda. So this is a 1 in 25 for Yoda number 6. I actually really like this cover a lot. This is one of the Japanese artists. I'm not even going to try to butcher the name. Maybe I'll try to butcher the name in a second. But pre-sale prices on this 1 in 25 have been about double. I mean, we're looking at $62.50. Yes, there's an $18 sale in there too from Canada, but by and large, $50 to $60 for this Okazaki cover. I just like it. I think the art's cool. I would actually pay a little above ratio. I know, normally I don't do it, but this, I'd probably pay like 30 for this. Personally, if I found it, I'd probably pay like $30 for it because I like this one a lot. Something about the glow, the drawing. I like it. The movement of the wind. This is a pretty cool Yoda. It's not a standard Yoda. It's definitely a stylized Yoda, but I dig this one. I dig it. I like the cover. I'll keep an eye out for it, but I'm still not going to pay that much more over ratio. But the asking prices right now are a bit more. $50 up to $105 for this 1 in 25. And yes, we do have our obligatory comic biz down there at auction, but that's coming out of the UK with like $20 shipping. So even at the $6 price right now, it still has days to go. This ain't going to end until Friday. So we'll see where that one shakes out. But I just had to put that in there. But these are the only copies I could find up right now. So keep that in mind as well. Not a lot of these, listed pre-sale, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see what happens on Wednesday. See if I get lucky. Because like I said, I kind of like this one. Kind of like this one. I didn't look at it ahead of time. I'm not an FOC guy, so that's why I don't have an FOC video. I know I probably should look that far ahead, but I just don't. I just don't have time to look that far ahead into books like this. I just looked the week before. What do I want to buy this week? And that's about as far into the future that I look beyond my reading polls. Like mostly, I mentioned my DCBS pre-order. By and large, my DCBS pre-order is mostly stuff I just want to read, and I know I'm just going to get regardless. So that's mostly what's in there. And considering the discount they give to pre-order like a couple months ahead of time, that's why I still do it. But I still hit up a couple of different shops. I got my dad got pulling from a local shop of ours, and then I go to other ones when I have time because I like to spread around and not just focus in on one place. I like to try to keep everybody. I like to have multiple shops, so I try to spread business around as best I can to all of them because, like I said, I like having them. I like having options. But that said, one more book, and we're going to wrap up the watch list for this week. And this is probably the winner so far of the week. And this is a high ratio. This is a 1/100. This is a 1/100 She-Hulk. Gorgeous cover. I dig it. I dig it a lot, actually. But you can get a trade dress version for cover price. So this is probably going to be the one that I'm going to buy because I don't generally buy a lot of 1/100s, especially when they're selling for over ratio. So I'm probably going to get this regular version. That's going to be good enough for me. But just so you're aware, pre-sale prices on that She-Hulk 12, that Lee variant, it's Ji Hyung Lee, I believe. You can see there. $175, $200 pre-sale, $190 pre-sale. But then the most recent was only $75 plus $10 shipping from Canada, and that was on April 10th. That was the most recent one. So I think that's just, a lot of stores, they have that kind of, doesn't matter. Like, so 1/100, that's where they're going to price it. They're going to price it like 25% off of ratio. If it's 1/50, if they're going to list it there for like $40. If they have a 1/25, they're going to throw it out for 20. It's like that's or stuff like that. Like I know a lot of stores will do that regardless of how things are pre-selling, so they don't go chasing. So it's good when you find places like that. Keep an eye on them, watch them, so you can try to get some of these books that you might want for a decent price because that's a decent move. It's a decent move to sell things under ratio like that, especially pre-sales. But those are the pre-sales we've got. Asking prices right now, they're all pretty high, $225 to $240. Yeah, $225, $240, another like $225. So this ain't gonna be cheap. And then we got Comic Biz at auction, but like I said, that's got to go all the way until Friday. So who knows where that's going to end up? And it's got that $20 shipping on it, and it's already up to $26 despite having the rest of the week to go at auction. So who knows where that one's going to end up? But I can say that right now, this looks to be the book most people are looking for this week, and this one is, I think, sold out in most bigger retailers online. I went looking just out of curiosity, like your Midtowns, etc. So it's already sold out there. I think it even sold out at a premium. I think they were selling it for above ratio, but still gone. But who knows? We'll see what happens. These are the books I'm watching for this week. I'm going to get a bunch of them, but like I said, I'm not going to get them all. I'm not going to get this book. I'm keeping an eye on it because I'm curious. I want to know what happens, but I'm going to be honest. Like I'm not throwing out ratio and above, even for something like this that I do kind of like. Like this is a really nice cover. I like the green. This works. But that all said, that's my list for this week. Thank you all, for your support, especially, members. That's why you guys get this a little bit early ahead of everybody else. I'm going to try to film my Hidden Gems and Chasing Ghosts for this week soon and get ready for the Star Wars Tales from the Dark Side show later tonight because I'm doing this on Sunday. So with that all said, thank you all again, and I will see you all soon with some content. All right, later.